Stephen Curry had a shoe deal with Nike, but then something happened and now he doesn't. Let's just say if you're gonna sign an athlete to a multi-million-dollar deal, you might want to know how to pronounce his name. What's up everybody, it's Jimmy, and Stephen Curry has almost single-handedly taken Under Armour from a distant afterthought of a brand to a real competitor with brands like Nike and Adidas. At this point, Curry's name is synonymous with
Wait, I thought Under Armour was always big. Was it really not as big as Nike and Adidas?
Under Armour, for better or for worse. But it wasn't always like this. To this day, Nike has the majority of NBA players locked into a deal. In fact, Nike has a staggering 95.5% of the market. The company has even signed 74% of all NBA players to a deal.
Damn.
3 of every 4 NBA players has a shoe deal with Nike. Nike also has 11 of the 15 highest paid endorsement deals in all of sports, including contracts with LeBron, KD, MJ, Kobe, Kyrie, and many more. In the 2012 Olympics, 11 of the 12 players on the US men's team were signed by Nike. Even their coach had a deal with the big swoosh. Nike was destined to have a shoe deal with Stephen Curry. Curry's godfather Greg Bink worked for the company. Curry wore Nikes growing up and even in college. Being a high drafts pick, Nike usually has dibs on most players of his caliber coming out of college.
I don't even remember what shoes I used to wear as a kid. I wore Timbs because I was short. I don't even remember what else I used to wear. Nike Air Maxes were definitely one of them. I think I wore a lot of Nike. I always thought kids who wore, what were those things called? Chucks? What are they called? Converse? I always thought kids that wore Converse were cringe. But as I got older, I actually started liking Converse a lot more.
It only made sense to sign with Nike, and he did. In 2009, Stephen Curry signed a 4-year deal with the company. And aside from his constant ankle injuries, Curry had a pretty solid first 4 years in the league. But it was in that final year of his contract with Nike that he really had his breakout season. In 2013, he really found his place in the NBA, dropping 54 at Madison Square Garden, peeped the Nike Zoom Hyperfuses, and breaking the NBA record for three-pointers made in a season. We were all just beginning to see the true potential of the future 2-time MVP, and so was Nike. So it would only make sense for them to re-sign Curry to another deal, right? After Curry's contract was up, he was free to hear pitches from other companies, and one of those companies was of course Nike. See, just because they were the first to sign him doesn't mean he had to stick with them. He was available to sign a deal with anyone, but Nike did want him.
Right.
I'm so restless, way too reckless. Without you here, think I care less. So I fall down and I keep doing things in the wrong way. Get stuck at the bottom. There's gotta be a better way. I got no patience to put the pieces back together. Doing all the things that bring me to the edge and I can't stop. So when I lose myself.
Kinda. The company set up a meeting with Stephen and his father Dell to pitch their deal. But right from the jump, something didn't seem right. Nike categorizes their athletes into tiers. No, not tiers. Tiers. The top tier being athletes like Kobe, LeBron, and KD. Well, immediately Steph could tell Nike did not see him as a top tier athlete, or even a priority for that matter. To start things off, Nike had given Kyrie and Anthony Davis their own youth development camps, but not Curry, even though Steph joined the league years before them. The next mistake Nike made during their pitch was only offering Curry $2.5 million for the deal. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll take a cool $2.5 million to wear some shoes any day. But
wait, that's it? I feel like it'd be so much more.
I'm not Stephen Curry. Under Armour, a much smaller company at the time,
that actually
Curry
sounds like
$4
nothing.
million. But it gets worse. During Nike's pitch to the Curry family, they used a slideshow, and one of those slides had Kevin Durant's name on it. Nike used the same exact slideshow during Durant's pitch and forgot to change the names. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, I've messed up slideshows here and there in high school, you know, forgot to change a picture or two, but homie, really? But again, that's not even the worst part. The Nike rep that was pitching the deal to Curry called him Stefan, not Stephen. Curry was with Nike for 4 years at this point, and the man giving the pitch didn't even know his name. Needless to say, Steph and his dad stopped paying attention at that point and turned down the deal from Nike. Under Armour swooped in and signed Steph to a deal and pronounced his name correctly in the process. But the deal with Under Armour goes beyond the money. Steph felt like he was important with Under Armour, like he was a priority and not just another athlete. And he was right, because Under Armour has allowed Steph to do things that no other company would, like putting his favorite Bible verse on his shoe. He was also given partial ownership of the company, something no other major company has offered to any athlete.
LeBron doesn't own some of Nike, really? I feel like LeBron's got to own some of Nike at this point.
Ever. And it paid off. Big time. Because in just 2 years, Curry has managed to single-handedly double Under Armour's worth from $14 billion to
What about Jordan?
$28 billion.
Jordan does,
At this point, Under Armour did not want to make the same mistake Nike made. So in 2015, Under Armour offered Curry a deal he couldn't refuse. And he didn't refuse. Curry's new deal with Under Armour is said to be worth up to $1 billion by 2024. And whether you think the Currys are hot or not, they are the best-selling shoe of any active NBA player. Quite honestly, Curry is to Under Armour what Jordan was to Nike. Curry and Under Armour have become so familiar that it's hard to imagine at one point in time, Nike had their hands on the future NBA champion. But yeah, they messed that one up in a hurry. I guess that's what happens when you don't even know your own athlete's name. With some of the great young players coming up in today's league, let's hope these companies learn from this catastrophic mistake. From a $2.5 million deal to increasing a company's value by $14 billion. Curry says joining Under Armour was one of the best decisions he's made in his entire career.
Wait, are the ponies attacking us still?